I'm of the school of thought, it's very straightforward, very clear cut. There's awareness, and then there's the physical world. And I separate the two, and there's a clear cleaving between the two. The notion of awareness, I think, really is it's an awareness. Okay, awareness is, and I said this something like this before. It's an intuitive understanding of forms, of relationships, of not physical things, but how they relate to each other, and that sort of, I don't know, that extra element. And I don't think just talking about neurology in a physical sense can ever lead one to the experience of awareness. Even if there are like two different things happening in the brain, if they're both physical, you need a third thing to give those two things any sense of bearing against each other, or any sense of you need a criterion. You need an absolute to judge the meaning of these two different states in order to have the emergent property of awareness, supposedly. So to even try to explain it as an emergent property necessitates something still separate from neurology. And I argue it's separate from the natural world completely.
That's what we're doing here, by the way. We're acting as that third arbitrating agent for you two, right? Just kidding.
You're God? You were the wow. I am blessed to be on this network.
And we can tell you the positions. That
yeah.
No.
I mean,
sorry to get it off.
well, I guess James.
No. Good.
James,
Good.
how confident are you that you know the physicalist paradigm in neuroscience will be able to account for consciousness? Do you think that there's any possibility that we will need sort of a paradigm shift away from sort of a basically reductionistic physicalist view to understand consciousness, or do you think it just needs more work before we get there?
I feel like that might be a slightly loaded question. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Currently, the reading that I have done, I am satisfied with a physicalist explanation of consciousness. I think things like the work of Oliver Sacks, the man who mistook his wife for a hat, the pragmatic philosophy of consciousness view that folks like Dennett take, has a lot to say about how it is that our brain thinks about the world around us. And I think that there's an entirely pragmatic evolutionary understanding of why we would have consciousness and why we seem to have these different tiers related to materialism. And I'm satisfied with that. I mean, if there ever comes something in consciousness that seems absolutely inexplicable, then I would reevaluate my position. But currently, I'm satisfied with it.
I think you just channeled a little bit of Pyrrha 314 right there, with the pragmatic explanation of consciousness and spirituality.
Well, I mean, I can say that I'm really I guess familiar with Dennett's work, but I also really enjoy his work, though I disagree with it. I think I enjoy it so much because he allows me to understand exactly why I disagree. Have you read Dennett's work, Jonathan? Can we use that as sort of a springboard? No?
I haven't either, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, let's talk. I mean, in general, Dennett takes a functionalist view, which means that consciousness is what we do, and he also says that the brain is basically a computer system that processes inputs from the external world and computes the appropriate response and so forth. But I think I would have to levy the same criticism I said earlier, that if the brain is a computer, why does it need to experience anything? Why do we need the user illusion of consciousness, as Dennett calls it, if the brain and body could perform their mechanical functions entirely without any awareness or consciousness?
Because we are a weak species.
We are
and
Speak for yourself.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, very, very clearly, consciousness has benefited Homo sapiens.
Right.
And it benefits other organisms in varying degrees. We just happen to not be terribly well equipped to interact with the world in a defensive and offensive way without it. So we need it.
Right. So you're giving an evolutionary account, in other words, that
It's practical.
consciousness is
A
useful.
pragmatic account, yes.
Pragmatic account. Yeah. I mean, what do you think of all this, Jonathan?
What bit? I'm still ruffled from the weak species comment.
Oh, you're still hung up on that one. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
do you think that we can?
If you're looking to learn how to rock climb, you're not going to find it in a sailing manual. And if you flip through and you say, I'm not going to believe this rock climbing bullshit until I fucking see it in this book, it ain't going to happen. If your understanding of cosmology is purely scientific, and your understanding of our awareness, our ability to employ science is scientific, you're never going to get it. Never going to get it. It's apples and oranges. It's ringo to orange, as they say over here. It's two different things.
Right.
Wakarimasen. Don't understand it.
Well, we've got 4 or 5 minutes left of tape. We're gonna have to try to wrap this up, even though I feel like we could go on for hours and hours and hours.
So we should read Bill Ayer's new rules and just say, James, what are your new rules for YouTubers, and Jonathan, your new rules, or something like that.
Well, this
Sounds
discussion can continue after this video concludes, and I'm sure, hopefully there will be other video responses posted to this conversation, and perhaps James or John, you will both want to express yourselves further when this is through. But I guess to sort of finish up, maybe.
No, I would like that. If you guys gave like a rule from your perspective, if you could write a book, and this is we're being a little fun here. You're gonna write your own Bible. What is it? What's this new book that you're writing? If you're making the rules, what's some of the rules that you make for people that are watching this, realistically, to live by? Philosophies.
Whoever's ready first.
How about don't be theist because you are Christian, and don't be atheist because you are not Christian. How about that?
That's pretty good. I like that.
Not bad. Any rules to live by, James? I mean, what do you live by? Like, that's where we start, isn't it?
Everybody is functioning according to their understanding of the world around them, and should be understood and respected in those terms.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. Acknowledge the context.
Right.
Is that what we're saying?
Well, I mean, it almost seems like you're saying, look, you got to be a little compassionate. People view the world from the perspective that sort of they inherited from their upbringing and their surroundings, right?
Right, and I think that those things need to be respected. Everybody is bringing to the table a certain series of prejudices and a certain number of desires, and but even sitting in a traffic light, if somebody's pissing me off, they have an experience. They have an experience at that moment, at that traffic light, that I am not a part of, and I need to function and respect within this world in regards to that.
All right.
And alcohol's good.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers to that. Thank you for doing this conversation, this debate-station.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Debate-station.
Hopefully I'll get this posted in the next day or so. Should be able to post it tomorrow. But
Okay.
And John, you've got a whole copy of it, so if you want to use the footage as long as
do some of that fancy
James
boy
is okay with
editing.
that.
We've seen your channel. You're tuning up the editing these days. You're conforming a little bit. It's okay.
You should make a soundboard. That would be pretty fun.
There you go.
All right, so are we ready to wrap? I mean, our time's just about out, so I think we're gonna have to.
Yeah, guys.
Sign out.
Let's sign off, and
we'll do a bit of jamata to you out there
Yeah.
in Japan, and goodbye to you, James, over there on the East Coast. That's right, East Coast.
yeah. All right,
It's been a
guys.
pleasure.
Have a good evening, James. Have a good morning,
likewise.
Jonathan. Thanks for
you.
joining us.
Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Later on, John.